No, I want that, I want that. Oh dear, what have I done? Getting invested in it, that's the problem. I don't know if I can. Hello, it's really hot today, like really hot, and it's the UK. Yeah, Royal Enfield Himalayan. Obviously, that's why you pressed the button to play, because you knew it was going to be this. If you're thinking that this is going to be another one of those videos of, you know, the pros and cons of a Royal Enfield Himalayan, it's not, all right? I know, there's loads of those out there. I've seen them all, you've probably seen loads of them as well. Not today. Today, I want to do something very, very different. I want to talk about this bike from here, from an emotional point of view. You see, I'm not really actually very happy with this bike. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, sort of. I mean, I'm going to go through a few of the little bits and pieces, you know, the good bits and the bad bits, but what a lot of these reviews don't do is tell you how you feel when you want to buy this and then when you've bought it. In other words, the desire for the want seems to outweigh the why. It certainly does with me, and I know it does with a lot of people. So I think that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why I've changed my mind about this. But before we do that, I think we kind of need to go back in time a little bit, about a year and a half. So let's go back to there. So that's me, a year and a half ago, learning to ride a motorbike. Now, I'm not very good at this sort of stuff, so it took me a while to master it. And, well, I think master is a completely wrong word, but just forget about that bit. The reason why I was doing it is partly because of midlife crisis, but also because I booked a holiday to go to Mongolia on my own, and I was going to hire a motorbike out there. So I kind of wanted to get my CBT test done, so I had a little bit of knowledge. Anyway, I went and did it. I flew out to Mongolia and I made a whole load of videos about them. If you haven't seen the videos, you can have a look at the link below or up the top there, wherever it's going to be, and you can see the kind of stuff I did. I was so excited. I thought, you know what? I want to do motorbikes. I want to carry on learning. And that feeling I had when I was out in Mongolia of just freedom and to do what I want to do when I want to do it, it was just overwhelming. And I wanted to capture that. I wanted to keep that. So, how was I going to go about doing it? We all want to do the things we enjoy, don't we? So I thought, right, I'm going to learn to ride a bike properly, take lessons and everything, but I was so impatient, I thought I'm going to go out and buy a bike straight away. That is when I saw this. Now, I got to say, the first time I saw it was at Itchy Boots, and she had one of these in the first couple of seasons. And yeah, I mean, look at it. What's not to like about that? It's got quite a retro, old-fashioned look, and it ticked all the boxes for me. Actually, before I go any further, I've got to apologise for all this all the time. I do this a lot, don't I? I do move my hands a lot. I can't help it. I'm sorry. So 2 weeks after I got back from Mongolia, I went straight on eBay and I bought that. It was a year old. It's got loads of extras on it and it cost me £3,500. What's not to love about that? £3,500. I thought, you know, I can afford that. Perfect. But is it? Is it perfect? Of course it isn't. It's not perfect at all. But of course, I hadn't passed my test yet. That was going to be another 6 months, 6 more months. And all I could do was keep this in my workshop and just poodle about out the front a little bit, get a bit used to it and what have you. So off I went and I started having lessons. That's when things started to change. So the problem was, when I started taking lessons, the bike I practiced on was a Honda 600cc. I can't actually remember which one it was, but it was smooth, lovely gear changes, really fast as well. And I gotta say, I think I really enjoyed that speed. I really did. So I ended up passing my test, yippee! And I thought, great, I can get out on the Hemi now, it's gonna be wonderful. But it wasn't, it actually wasn't. There was something massively missing from the experience of riding that bike. And that's where the heart bit comes in. Sorry, I just eaten a banana. But that's okay, because it's not all about speed, is it? I thought, that's all right, I've signed up for a bike and I know all the pros and cons of the Himalayan, so, you know, that other stuff will come later. Let's go with what I've got. It's a great bike, I'm gonna love it, I'm gonna spend lots of quality time with the bike, and we're gonna slowly but surely fall in love with each other. Or at least that was the plan. So why was it me and the lovely Himalayan just couldn't get along? Why is it we didn't fall in love? Well, yeah, I think you're gonna know the answers to this. I mean, I saw the answers. They were staring me in the face. They were all those red flags that I thought wouldn't be an issue. The fact that, you know, when I got this out on the motorway, it was kind of gutless, really. I could get 17, I know you can get boosters for it and stuff, but I just didn't have that power that I'd experienced with the Honda. You know, and it kind of little things niggled at me. And then those little niggly things started to build. Now, the best way I can give you an understanding, it's like you, have you ever watched that? That's it, I know what I was going to say. Have you ever watched Married at First Sight, especially the Australian one, because that's the best one? Bear with me, this is going somewhere, I promise. So, in that program, they get the couples together, you know, they match them up, and some of them take it nice and slow, don't they? Nice and slow, it's the way to go. Some couples, the moment they clap eyes on each other, they're just like, yeah, like rabbits are at it, I tell you, like rabbits. And me and my girlfriend, we always say, the moment they're at it, within 24 hours, it ain't gonna last, it's not gonna last. That is kind of what happened to me in this bike. The moment I saw it, and I saw the reviews, I thought, I love that bike. Oh, I absolutely love it. I desired this bike so much. But of course, like all these things happen, you have that massive sort of passionate moment with the bike, with the girl, and then things start going a little bit wrong. They start unpeeling, don't they? You know, like she leaves her dirty socks somewhere and she doesn't put the tea bag in the waste bin thing. Yeah, I know it sounds like I'm being a bit finicky with, you know, things like tea bags and dirty socks, but I'm just trying to give you an example. That's what this was all about. So yeah, we know what the problems are, don't we? And this has got a few bits that just started adding to it. And I thought, I just couldn't invest any more time in it. Let me give you an example of the things that happened to me with this bike. They're only small, but small grows, doesn't it? They all add up. So just the other day, I was wheeling it out of the workshop and I noticed something fell on the floor and I thought, well, what's that? And I had a look down and, well, the rear reflector here, you see the rear reflector? It just fell off. Absolute rubbish. Okay, 3.5 grand I paid for it and brand new, I think they're only, what, 4.5? You might think, well, it doesn't really matter. But there's more, let's move on. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but on here, the images behind it, they've all dropped down, so they're not lined up anymore. Yeah, that's item number 2. Oh, and another thing to add to that list is the accelerator here. This here, if I do that, can you see this? Oh, well, it's turning back now, but now and again it doesn't, it just gets a bit stuck. So you can start having cruise control, but without cruise control. Yeah, not great, not great. And another thing, the fuel gauge. It's got a bit of a mind of its own as well. Sometimes it's almost empty, and then it's right up there. I don't think that's right either. Well, obviously it's not right. Now, I'm fully aware that the mechanics on here are very basic and straightforward, but I did find that the gear changes on this are really, really clunky. And it reminded me too much of that bike I had in Mongolia, and that was a 150cc, cheap as $800 Chinese rubbish. It really was. Don't get me wrong, it had a lot of charm and character to it, and that's fine for a 2-week holiday. But this is my bike. I mean, it's not my everyday, but you know, it was reminding me too much of the rubbish bike, and I thought, all right, maybe I'm sounding a bit of an idiot here because that's what I liked out there. But no, I didn't enjoy the bike out there. I've got to make that clear. The bike, I had it in Mongolia. Some days it just wouldn't start. It was just blooming awful. And I don't really want that now, especially as I've now had the privilege of riding some brand new bikes, and it's a world of difference, it really is. Yeah, I can hear you. I know what you're thinking. I can already see it in the comments below. Blimey, he's a miserable old git. I'm moaning too much. Yeah, I am. I'm having a bit of a gripe. I know I shouldn't really. There's nothing actually wrong with the bike. It ticks certain boxes, doesn't it? You know, it's cheap. It does what it says on the tin, all that kind of stuff. The fact that it's got simple mechanics is also another interesting thing that relates back to when I was 18, 19 year old and I started driving a car, in fact. Back then the mechanics were easy and they were simple, and my dad was always out fixing cars. You know how the old story goes, oh yeah, we always had the bonnet up, and that's the problem. You could work on them, and you were working on them, weren't you? Because they broke down more often. I've got a brand new van, well I say brand new, it's 5 years old. I lift the bonnet, nothing ever changes. It's always the same. And this is too much for me like those old mechanics. Yeah, it's easy to work on, but it's going to break down. And I don't know if I want all that aggro, quite frankly. All right, yeah, I know, a brand new bike, that could break down as well, but I might take my chances with it. I don't know. Anyway, look, what I'm saying is, it's not a review about buying or not buying this bike. That's irrelevant. It's about what you desire. And, you know, what I desired, turns out, wasn't this. So yeah, it's going to have to be sold, unfortunately. And I'd love to keep it just because it looks really, really nice. I love it, but yeah, I've gone and bought another bike, haven't I? Which you'll be seeing very shortly, and unfortunately it's a lot more money than this one. Actually, I'll tell you what I bought. It's a Honda Transat, and the reason why I'm laughing is because I just happened to go into the showroom and I saw it, and it was £200 deposit. Oh no, I want that, I want that. So yeah, I think I've gone and done it again, haven't I? I've just gone and bought another bike, a lot more money, for a want, and I really didn't think about the why. Oh dear, what have I done? I'm not even sure if this actual video's solved anything, has it? But I am very grateful that you've watched. If you're still watching now, then blimey, thank you. And on that note, I am going to end this video. So if you like this kind of content, a bit ranty, I know, please do give me a thumbs up and hit the old subscribe button. I think I've got more of this coming your way. Thanks for now, you take care, bye-bye. When I got back from Mongolia, I decided, no, I didn't decide anything, did I? Let's be honest. I went on YouTube and looked at a lot of bike videos and I came across Itchy Boots. That sounded wrong. Sorry.